Welcome to Unbelievable Top 10, where we bring you the most intriguing facts about the world of religion and spirituality. Today, we're diving into a topic shrouded in mystery and misconception: Satan. We'll debunk 10 common myths that have shaped popular perception of this figure. If you're a fan of eye-opening content and love exploring the lesser-known aspects of religion, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now, without further ado, let's delve into the first myth. First on our list is the misconception that Satanists worship Satan. Now, this couldn't be further from the truth. The Church of Satan, for instance, doesn't bow down to a demonic entity. Instead, they use Satan as a metaphor, a symbol, if you will. And what does this symbol represent? It stands for their belief in the power of fantasy, the allure of the unknown, and a deep-seated devotion to earthly things. So, in a way, Satan for them is more of an ideological concept than a divine or infernal being to worship. It's about embracing the human condition, our desires, ambitions, and even our flaws, rather than blindly following a supernatural entity. So, the next time you hear about Satanists, remember, they aren't out there conducting rituals to appease the devil. So, Satanists do not actually worship Satan, contrary to popular belief. The second myth revolves around the infamous number 666. This number, often associated with the devil, has an interesting origin rooted in numerology. The number 666 is derived from an ancient practice called gematria, used by the Greeks and Jews, where letters of the alphabet were assigned numerical values. The total for a word was calculated by adding up the values of its letters. The number 666 is often linked to Nero Caesar, the Roman emperor notorious for his brutal persecution of Christians. When Nero's name is spelled in Hebrew letters, the total numerical value comes to 666. Yet, it's crucial to note that the Bible does not directly associate this number with Satan. Instead, it refers to a beast in the book of Revelation, symbolizing human imperfection and rebellion against God. Therefore, 666 is not inherently a demonic number. A common myth is that Satan is a fallen angel named Lucifer. This belief, however, is a misinterpretation of a verse found in the book of Isaiah. The verse in question, Isaiah 14:12, is often quoted as referring to Lucifer's fall from heaven. But this verse was not originally about Satan at all. It was about a Babylonian king who was given the metaphorical title of Morning Star due to his temporal power and influence. The term Lucifer is actually a Latin translation of this title, and it wasn't until later interpretations that this verse was linked to Satan. In fact, the name Lucifer doesn't appear in the original Hebrew text at all. Over time, through translations and reinterpretations, the connection between Lucifer and Satan has become ingrained in popular belief. However, according to the original biblical text, these are separate entities. Hence, Lucifer and Satan are not the same entity. The fourth myth associates the pentagram with Satanism. This five-pointed star, however, didn't always carry such notorious connotations. It was originally associated with the wounds of Christ, 1 point for each wound inflicted during his crucifixion. Over time, this symbol has been misinterpreted and perverted to represent Satanism. It's not hard to see how this could happen, given the human tendency to fear and demonize what we don't understand. The Church of Satan's adoption of the goat's head, another symbol often misassociated with evil, only fueled this misconception. This led to the widespread belief that the pentagram is a satanic symbol, but in reality, its association with Satanism is a relatively recent development. The fifth myth connects the goat-headed demon Baphomet with Satan. But let's delve into the origins of Baphomet. This entity was first linked to the Knights Templar, a medieval Catholic military order. Accused of heresy during the Inquisition, the Templars were said to be worshipping this figure. However, it was not associated with Satan at this point. Fast forward to the 19th century when French occultist Eliphas Lévy sketched the now famous image of Baphomet as a winged, goat-headed figure. Levi's depiction was not intended to symbolize Satan, but rather the harmony of opposites, a key concept in Hermetic philosophy. Over time, this image was adopted by various occult and satanic groups, leading to the modern misconception that Baphomet is a satanic figure. Thus, Baphomet and Satan are not inherently linked. The sixth myth associates the goat-legged satyr Pan with Satan. Now, Pan was a deity in ancient Greek religion, known for his love of nature, music, and carnal pleasures. But he was not a symbol of evil. So, how did Pan get tied up with the devil? The answer lies in the early Christian era. As Christianity began to spread across the Hellenic world, there was a concerted effort to demonize the old gods. This was a common tactic to encourage conversion to the new faith. Pan, with his half-human, half-goat form, was an easy target. He was reshaped into a symbol of lust, chaos, and all things considered sinful by the church. The transformation of Pan's image from a playful nature deity to a malevolent figure was a strategic move. It offered a visual representation of evil that served to strengthen Christian teachings. So, the connection between Pan and Satan is largely a Christian construct. Seventh on our list is the belief that Satan is omnipresent. Now, omnipresence is a divine attribute typically ascribed to God, signifying presence at all places at all times. Many assume that Satan too possesses this quality, but this isn't quite accurate. Theological discussions suggest that Satan, being a created being, has limitations. While Satan is indeed powerful, his power is not infinite like God's. He is not all-knowing, nor is he everywhere at once. Satan relies on a vast network of fallen angels, commonly referred to as demons, to carry out his will and influence the world. This is a far cry from actual omnipresence. It's important to remember that Satan's knowledge, while extensive, is not absolute. He doesn't know the future, nor can he read our thoughts. These limitations put a clear boundary between the abilities of God and Satan. Therefore, Satan is not omnipresent, contrary to popular belief. The eighth myth suggests that Satan rules hell, but let's dive deeper into this common misconception. You see, the concept that Satan is the king of hell, sitting on a fiery throne and commanding legions of demons, is more a product of popular culture and literature than religious text. It's a compelling image, isn't it? But in reality, the Bible and other sacred texts don't support this depiction. In fact, these texts describe hell as a place of punishment, not just for sinful humans, but also for Satan himself. The idea of Satan as a prisoner, not a ruler, is prevalent. The book of Revelation, for instance, describes Satan being cast into a lake of fire, bound and tormented day and night for all eternity. So while it might be easy to imagine Satan as the lord of the underworld, the truth is quite different. Satan, according to these texts, is not the ruler of hell, but one of its most infamous inmates. Hence, Satan does not rule hell. Ninth on our list is the belief that Satan is the opposite of God. This misconception is widespread and often fuels various debates. Yet in the grand scheme of theology, this belief doesn't hold much water. Consider the creation narrative in many religious texts. God is often depicted as the creator of everything, including angels, and yes, that includes the entity we know as Satan. Therefore, if Satan is a creation of God, it's a logical inconsistency to consider him as God's equivalent or opposite. The relationship between a creator and a creation is inherently unequal. A creation cannot possess the same attributes, power, or authority as its creator. It's like saying a painting is the opposite of the artist who painted it. The painting is a product of the artist's creativity, just as Satan is a product of God's creation. So, while Satan might be portrayed as a figure of evil in contrast to God's goodness, it's crucial to remember that he is not an equal power diametrically opposed to God. Therefore, Satan is not the opposite of God. Last on our list is the belief that Satan is the cause of all evil. A popular misconception indeed, but the truth is a bit more complicated. While Satan is often portrayed as a figure who tempts people towards sin, it's essential to remember the significant role that human free will plays in the grand scheme of things. In many theological interpretations, Satan is seen as a tempter, an entity that sways minds towards wrongdoings. But the decision to act upon these temptations ultimately lies within us. It's our choices that define us and our actions, not an external force. This perspective encourages personal responsibility for actions rather than attributing all wrongdoings to an external figure. It's about acknowledging that evil can come from within, not just without. It's a potent reminder that we have the power to choose our path, make decisions, and shape our destiny. So Satan is not the sole cause of all evil in the world. And there we have it, 10 myths about Satan debunked. We've clarified misconceptions about Satanists, the number 666, and the identity of Lucifer. We've also looked into the true origins of the Pentagram and the figures of Baphomet and Pan. Lastly, we've addressed the myths that Satan is omnipresent, rules hell, is the opposite of God, and is the cause of all evil. Knowledge is power, and understanding these misconceptions helps us see the world in a clearer light. Thank you for watching Unbelievable Top 10. If you found this video informative, please subscribe to our channel for more intriguing content.